So starting the test drive in this TrailBlazer, again, we have that upgraded 1.3 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder as opposed to the 1.2 liter. I believe the 1.2 has 137 horsepower and the 1.3 has 155. So not a huge difference, but I mean, it is a difference. So you may or may not appreciate having that little bit of extra horsepower. Now I will say both of them pull pretty well. I do feel like the 1.3, you can feel it if you're looking for it, but if you were renting one of these, you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference whether you got the 1.2 or the 1.3, if that was your first time driving it at least. But we'll give it a pull here. So relatively quick, and for a 3-cylinder, I'd say extremely quick. And the turbocharger puts in a lot of work there. And then you do have the fuel economy when you're not putting your foot down, which is nice. Just with it being such a small displacement in terms of an engine. So 3 cylinders, a 1.3 liter. You can expect pretty good fuel economy. But the overall drivability of this is very easy. It's very easy to get used to. Obviously, it's not going to be too hard to drive. It's a smaller vehicle, but the ride quality is good. I actually enjoy the driving dynamics. It's a bit sporty in my opinion. But I mean, a turbocharger will do that for you. I'm gonna lean the seat back so we can get a better angle. And then the lane keeping assist, lane departure is a nice touch. Even though we don't have adaptive cruise here, there's an option to get that. But the lane keeping system, especially on longer journeys, just keeps you in the lines. For whatever reason you're not paying 100% attention or you don't notice what's going on. Now for the price point, I think this is a pretty decent buy. Now you can get a Trax a bit cheaper if having this little extra space over that is not a big deal. You can save a few thousand, but I like the looks of the TrailBlazers. I like how they drive, especially with a 1.3 liter, the upgraded engine at least. It's nice to have that too. And then this one, just having the driver confidence package, is another added plus. And I really think that makes this more of a bargain than you would expect, especially in today's market. And surprisingly, I don't know what it is, but these hold their value very well compared to everything else that's kind of dropped off as the auto market is kind of done its thing and then tried to settle back down a little bit. These are still hard to come by, and they're still coveted among consumers as a whole. And I think the big reason is they feel like, let's say a Chevy Blazer, you feel like you're up higher, but when you're driving this, you feel like you're driving a Mini Cooper. So the driving dynamics, again, are just easy to get used to. You're not scared to drive this, but if you want power and you put your foot to the floor, it'll go. But for the 98% of the time that you don't need that, you're getting 30 miles per gallon at least. On the highway, I should say. And the updated infotainment system is nice. Again, it's simple. I like that, unlike in the GMC Canyons, you have this screen, but you still have a knob to turn your lights on or off. You don't have to use a screen there, because that is a hassle. And I just feel like you get the best of both worlds here. The infotainment screen, pretty modern, it's touchscreen, but then your AC controls for those who like buttons and knobs, all of that is still down below here. You have a typical shifter. And it's modern without being too much, I think. But I expect these to sell like hotcakes. as they've been doing the past few years since GM introduced it. And with that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Chevy TrailBlazer in the LT trim level.